must have been cold there in my shadow, to never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine, that's your way. You always walk a step behind. So I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. A beautiful face without a name for so long. A beautiful smile to hide the pain. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle. You are the wind beneath my wings. It might have appeared to go unnoticed, but I've got it all here in my heart. I want you to know I know the truth. Of course I know I would be nothing without you. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I wish I could be. I could fly higher than an eagle. You are the wind beneath my wings. Did I ever tell you you're my hero? You're everything, everything.
And the kindness he showed. On behalf of the Congresswoman and all who have the privilege of knowing him, let's carry his memory forward by living with that same warmth and care. And we also would like to present a certificate for his celebration of life. And I would also like to present it to either his family, Saul. We have another presentation, so we can wait towards the end as well. Thank you. As I kind of look around the room, I just want to take some time to also say thank you for everyone here that's here. I know these times are very difficult times outside of what's happened here. I know that there are a lot of populations of just families and loved ones that have been impacted by everything that's going on. So the fact that you guys are still coming out here means a lot. And I also wanted to just thank you guys for opening the space. Thank you for coming together. It's really beautiful to just see that you guys are able to, bring bread or food and just, celebrate what it is to have a beautiful life, to touch so many people's lives. I think, for me, I know Alejandro had came to the Sandoval swearing in, and so I had planned that event. I was really nervous and I was running around. And I remember seeing him and it's that friendly face in the crowd that you kind of look for when you're going through very stressful situation. So in this crowd, I see a lot of friendly faces, and I appreciate every single one of you for coming and celebrating. Thank you so much.
Thank you. This is, for me, that's the crazy part. So one of the things that I got this because we plan to actually, we're gonna hand that picture and we're gonna hand the certificates at our office as a tribute to Alejandro for the service he provided for our community. So this is something that I'd like to share with every single person that you ever touch and that he ever came across. Thank you. Thank you. Because it really means a lot for me to actually have community members. We have 2 community members who have no attachment to Alejandro, but they just admire the work that he did, the work that he done in the community. So they wanted to be here today to also witness this. And this gentleman right here, he also made a homemade certificate to commemorate this moment, which I think is beautiful. A lot of times, you know how much work it takes to actually do this story and to actually do this event. For me, this matters a lot more than any materialistic stuff that we can bring. He says a lot about a person. So thank you, sir. So when they did the adjourning at the city council for Alejandro Luna, the office of the councilwoman also provided a couple of certificates to share with the loved ones from Alejandro, so that we can actually extend that. So obviously, I'm going to be sending some of these certificates to the family in Mexico, but also some of you that are here. So the first one, Ella, I would like to share one of those with you. Thank you for what you did. Most people don't know, but I know her husband since we were in high school, and they own a restaurant. And one of the things that they do for us, when we're completely broke and we have nothing left, she welcomed us into her place and let us have a meal for free. So Alejandro got plenty of meals. So I know this is just a small token to for the occasion that they actually had a standing ovation in the office of the councilwoman, and wanted to extend that to his family and to his I don't think anybody but besides Vero. So, this is the family that is here today, and for the same reason, they were a close family and they loved them more, perhaps, than some of the family members. So they were closer to him than other times family, and that's the beauty of it. This life we are born into a family, but we also get to choose the family that we want as our friends and the people who actually support us. I have some of that family. I got my normal family, but I got the people that do that for me. And this is one of the families. So I would like to give you one, to commemorate that day. So I'm going to keep as a token, and one for your daughter as well. So you guys. ¿Qué vas a decir la mejor?
No puedo.
Ah, okay.
Pero el percusión solo para me comprometo y no tengo palabras para agradecer por todo. Muchas gracias.
So I have one for his son in Mexico, a kid that he had in Mexico, and a couple of family members were supposed to be here today, Connie, and a couple of also the people that used to be his landlord. They're supposed to come today, so I have a couple of those for them. And voila, I actually opened the mic for anybody. Was anybody there to say a couple of words or to say something? Anybody would like to say something?
I just want to extend my gratitude to Alejandro for his devotion to service. The months that I got to meet him, I could tell that he was always willing to help. He was always willing to go the extra mile. I know that he lives from far away, so he will drive a long distance just to be in our community when he's actually home area was not the area that he was serving. He was serving us in this area, and I admire that, because who will drive that long distance is just to come and support other people in our community. So, so that's something that I will remember as a topic of service that he gave. The times that we got together, he was always friendly, always happy, always willing to extend his time to help anybody that was in need of help. A few, maybe a week or so prior to his passing, he called me up and he was trying to do a business headshot because he says, oh, we get really bad if he doesn't get it done. So, and unfortunately at that moment I was ready to leave out of town and I couldn't make it in time, but that was my last time I spoke with him. And I said, I'll be back soon. So when upon my return, let's meet up together and let's get that business headshot done in our studio. But fortunately that never happened. But all I know is that he was always trying to do his best for our community and for anybody that needed help. He always will be remembered because that's how we know how deep they have impacted our lives, because they're members.
So anybody else?
Good evening, my name is Zachary Wilski. I just want to say thank you so much for staying for the invite. Unfortunately, under these circumstances, I did never have the opportunity to meet Mr. Luna. However, getting to see what I've seen through this man, it's been inspiring. I've been touched, I've been moved by it. I come from a tiny little village in North Hollywood. I've recently been housed in Sandoval. I have been giving back to the community. I've been doing some things. However, I will say this. I get angry. I still get mad. I've yelled. I've screamed. I get angry at the community. Some of the homeless, some of those struggling. I found myself angry. And I've learned that that's something that this gentleman would not have done. And so, my goal and my aim is to be more like this man right here, because yeah, you're doing some good things, Zachary, for the outside, but what about the inside? If there's one thing that I've learned here is it's about what's going on internally with you, Zachary, and so thank you, Mr. Miguel, for this opportunity. And I look forward to the future and learning from this man right here. Thank you so much.
So, anybody else?
First of all, thank you very much for the invitation and for always Saul and also Alejandro make us feel welcome every time we go to I go to the chamber for the support. And even though I met Alejandro for maybe the last year, and we have several some events where I was able to have a conversation. He was always very helpful, very respectful. And what I see here is, when you live a life with purpose, and what you leave behind. So we're gonna all miss him. The community is gonna miss him, and his path through this world will make immediate difference. So just thankful to him and to all the works that the chamber does, because it's amazing how they always bring people together. So has this inspiring light that attracts and also help build others. And I would say, one of my favorite saying is, you rise by lifting others, and I think it's something that you really do. So I will I'm so glad to know that he spent so much time with somebody like him, because you really help him. They want to be always better and give the extra. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sandoval, and I really didn't know Alex that well. I only seen him about 3-4 times, but every time I saw him, he always greeted with a smile. That for sure. He shook your hand, and he really shook it the right way. You know, like there's people that you introduce yourself and their hand is so loose and all that deal. Well, he always shook your hand very strong. And that's something that it transmits that positive energy. So to me, that's what he did. I didn't see him a lot, but a few times that I saw him, it was a great moment to have a conversation with him. And he also offered to help me around with my events and the industry that I do. So obviously, when I found out about him through Carla, it's actually Carla's the one that introduced me to him, and to Sandoval. Well, you know, it's something that although I didn't know the gentleman that well, he left a good memory of what he was really all about. So there's very few like him in this world, and it's an honor to be here. And thank you all for being here at the same time for him. Thank you. Have a good day.
So once again, anybody else?
Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you so much for the invite. First of all, I got to know him through the chamber, throughout the events that he served the community. He'll leave a big impact to all of us. We'll carry the torch for him and to continue the positive life that he has brought to the community and for serving and doing the right thing. And hopefully that we see better days and better times. And God bless you all. Thank you.
My name is Isabel. I knew Alejandro since I was a little girl. He was like a friend to me. When I first heard the news, I couldn't believe it, and I still can't believe it, even with his kids. And because it was like, he always showed me anything. He always said, "You're always gonna make it great." And I was like, "You too." I'm like, "You go first, and then I'll go." Because I was always scared. He's like, "If you don't go in the pool, I'm gonna throw you in." And that's what he would say that Saul did to him. And he was like, "Can you believe Saul is like, you could do it, Alejandro, you could do it." And I was like, "No, like you're crazy, I can't do this. I don't belong in this world." And I was like, "What, you're telling me that I could do it when you're the one saying your own self that you couldn't do it?" I'm like, "Go first, I'll follow your footsteps." I was like, "You want me to be great? Then you do it." I'm like, "If I see you do it, then I'm gonna act." He did it, I could too. He never let me give up for anything. He was always there when I had my baby. He was there. Then when I had my other son, he was there. So he was always holding my hand. And even when the day before I found out he had passed away, he had gone to my house. He had said, "I'll see you later." And when I heard the news, I was like, how? How could this be possible when I just seen him a couple of days ago? I still called them, and we still talked, and he was like, "All right, take care." And I'm like, "All right, you too." Because I knew he was always working, he was always in the street. So I was like, "Please be careful," and I would always get him in trouble. And I'm like, "But that's how it was." Because I was like, when it was raining, I was like, "Do you have a sweater?" He's like, "Yes, but it's in my car." And I was like, "What is it doing in your car? It should be on you." So I was always the same way that he was taking care of me for all this time. I was trying to repay. I knew I wasn't going to be able to repay it because he did so much to me. So I was like, a little token, at least. And he was like, no, I'm meant to take care of you, not you take care of me. And I was like, no, we take care of each other. He was through parties and everything, he was always there. Yeah, we don't have pictures like that, because he didn't like pictures, because he always said his smile made him insecure. And when I see Sandoval, I made a full video of him. I was like, what? Like, Alejandro there. And I was like, I'm glad, because he's smiling. He enjoyed it. I was like, now, one of his things that he always liked doing was traveling. He loved playing. He was like, I'm gonna see. He said, when I die, he's like, I'm gonna be flying on the plane. And that's what he's doing, because that's what he loves to do. And I'm glad we made everything possible for him. That he took him out, because he was always work, home, work, home. And I'm thankful for him. Thank you.
Okay, that made me feel because I do believe one of the biggest impacts that we made in the only has happened very few times in my life. When I was in high school, I was jail cadet, and I trained 9 people. 3 of those people later on went to the White House. So what the crazy part is that we train people, we help other people. But what you don't realize is these people want to help other people. And it continues to go such change. So one time I was actually walking at Panorama High, and a younger guy, maybe like 12 years old, he come running and he's like, hey, you're Saul Mejia, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, thank you for what you did for my uncle almost 30 years ago, you know. I'm not gonna age myself. You know, like 30 years ago, you actually got my uncle out of the drugs, out of the gangs, and he went into serving in the army, and now he's an officer in the army. He's like, and all that was because of you. He's like, so now my family, my brothers and my cousins, they want to be like him. And for me, I think that's the biggest impact that actually will always touch my heart. So for me, I was grateful that I was able to hang out with Alejandro and do something for him. But when it makes sense to somebody else, another person gets touched or gets influenced by what we've done, wow, I mean, that's huge. You know, when you know you really create a legacy, you really create something. You know, hopefully that goes on to her kids, that goes on to, you know, all the family members to realize, yes, you should dream big and you should actually do whatever you dream of. Don't hesitate, don't think twice. You know, sometimes I get messages that I touch my heart. And this gentleman here, one time I was at the California Club, which is a very prestigious business club, and I posted a couple of pictures, and he said, hey man, am I allowed to dream about that? I'm like, no, you cannot. You shouldn't just dream. You can make it happen. We can actually make that happen. So I don't think people should have this. I think people should be able to experience it with life. And the part that hurt me the most about Alejandro is that without knowing that, the last 2 years was his best years. That hurt me a lot. Frankly, because life is, even if you live 20 years, you should live those 20 years to the fullest. Now, you know, to say I'm 40 close, and only 2 years of his life will actually do something that big for him. So I'll continue to do what I do because we can touch lives, we can touch families. But for me, that's the biggest thing that we can do. I have my own heroes, so that's what Clark, being one of them, you know, people who actually have guided me and touched me and made me look up to them to be able to do what I do and what needs to change. So I think that's the most beautiful part. So I want to say a little bit about Alejandro. Alejandro came to us because he was actually already volunteering for somebody else. And she was not a good apple, so I really say it. So he came and volunteered with somebody else. And that person really was just taking advantage of it. You know, he was taking money, and she was taking his time, energy, and he realized that he didn't have to just give. When he came to us, I told him, it's like, no, the way that I work is, you help me, I help you, you know, and you should be, we build something. You know, you do something for me, I'll do something for you, and vice versa, and that's the only way that it works. But when people just take and take, so I told them, it's like, don't spend a single minute of your life with people who will take. You know, it doesn't have to be monetary or spiritual support, you know. Simply friendship, at least, you know, something that they can live together and make you feel right. So he felt that Nico and I were doing a much better job than the other person, and he immediately joined us, and he didn't even know that I was in charge of the chamber because he caught me moving tables. I was actually on jeans and t-shirt moving tables and cleaning, and he thought I was just somebody from the group. And a couple of days later, they told me, oh, he's actually, the executive there. I was like, wait, what? Where was he in the Florida meeting? Like, wow, that's what happens when you're a business owner. People only see the results. They don't see the work that it takes behind the scenes, to watch and make something happen. So he got inspired by that, and he wanted to become that. So one of the things I did, I sat with him at the office, and I asked him, and that's what I do with the people who work with us. Let me know what you want, and let me know what can you bring to the table. And that's how we do it. We trade. I'll make something happen for you, make something happen for you. He simply said, I would like to be something executive, I want to be, a business leader. I'm like, okay, come to the next meeting, I'll have this for you. He's like, what? He's like, yeah. He's like, within a week, yeah. I was really, he was panicking. He's like, really? Yeah, come to the next meeting, and we'll have you taken off of office, and now you're an officer. It's as simple as that. We want to make it happen, it can happen. So he never imagined or thought that somebody would straight up from one day to the other and said, yeah, what you really wanted, it's doable and it's possible. So I was really happy to be able to make that, and I felt that he was really touched and really, he felt and really like, it's a big deal. I'm an officer in the chamber, And for me, that was very inspiring. So then he continued to do a lot more work throughout the community, and I think what most people remember that, yes, even my mom, every single person that he ever came across, he was the kind of person saying, hey, do you need water? Do you want me to bring you something? Hey, can I get that for you? You want me to help you with your bags? And every single person that he ever met, whether they were acquaintances, whether they were friends, or they were simply people in the middle of the street, he would help anybody that he can. And for me, that's huge. That's a big, big deal. Some of the things that I learned afterwards, they really touched my heart. Or meetings take place at 12 noon at the US Bank, and I'll ask him to meet me at 10 o'clock so that we can get ready, prepare everything. And then I got a chance to talk to the lady that he lived with. And she tells me, Saúl, what you don't know is that he used to get up at 6:30 in the morning. At 6:30, actually at 6:30 in the morning, he was already having breakfast, and he was ready for me to make a call and say whether he needed. That really made me really just freeze and it made her heart a lot. Because I asked him to come at 10, he was ready since 6:30 in the morning for me to make a call and say, I'm ready. Just that alone for me, it's like, as Cesar said, he used to live far away, he was in Compton, he used to come driving every single time all the way up here just to get things done and, be of service. And then when we were finished, he's like, so are you done? He's like, sure, you don't want to do anything else? Is there anything else that we can do? He always wanted to do more. And what we didn't know he was going to pass away. Maybe that's why he wanted to do a lot more. And now I'm tired, I gotta go home. I actually sleep in like a normal human being once in a while. So I'm trying to now, I think it's time to call it a day, you can go home. But if he had it his way, we'd probably be working out till midnight, each and every single time that he was there. And for me, that's what I admire the most. I always tell people, if you want to be successful in life, just be humble and be really true. If you got that, you can accomplish anything. But if you don't have that, I don't care if you have a degree, I don't care what title you got, it's not going to work. It's simply not going to work. You got to be humble. And he definitely was a very humble person, somebody of service. And that's why I wanted to put an extra effort, because those are the people we got to take care of. And that's what I mean. When I first, one of the reasons why Danilo became my best friend, and also with the chamber, he was the first person to ever ask me, someone who's doing something for you? Who's taking care of you? He was the first person ever to say that to me. I froze. And Hunter was the second person to say that. To say, we see what you do in the community, we see what work you put, but who's taking care of you? Who's looking out for you and the things that you do. And for me, immediately that freezes me, because you don't get a lot of people like that in the world. You don't get many people who are really their main purpose is how can I be of help? How can I serve others? And how can I take care of you? And for me, that's what highlighted and made it different than any other people. Because there's always going to be people who come your way and want something, expect something, or see how they can get it from you. But for people in the gym, it's simply a heart to say, I'm here to serve. It's really a big deal. So that's what Alejandro was for me, and that's why I wanted to take care of him and actually recognize him in any way possible. I still had a lot more to go like everybody else. I didn't think it was going to be that sudden, but I had much bigger plans. We always tell people, man, if you compare it to McDonald's, he just had a chicken nuggets and a soda. We can deliver a full combo, so a lot more than we could have done and we wish we would have done for him. But obviously we didn't know it was just a matter of time. And the only part that did hurt me is that I started getting calls from everybody telling me, even the photos like David was saying, they tell me that he didn't like to take pictures. I have 350 pictures now. They're like, you need to come. He didn't like photos. What are you talking about? Every single time, I'll be the one saying, I'm not comfortable looking, like a big fat guy. Like I want to bring pictures. And he'll be like, no, come on, man, let's take a picture. So for me, it was the complete opposite. So it's interesting when you see that, well, I think one of the things is that we needed to look at him and ask, what is it that you want? It's not about what we want, it's like, what is it that you want? I learned really quick that you can't even ask him that because he wouldn't even tell you. I was like, hey, what do you need? No, I'm okay, don't worry about it. It's like, okay. Then I need to figure out what you need and go get it. So one of the things that is sentimental for me today, the suit that he's wearing, I bought it for him, and it was precisely like that, because he wouldn't do it himself. So one day I immediately kidnapped him and said, you should take me here, you're gonna go to the store, we're gonna buy the suit, now you're gonna have a decent suit, to go to the meetings. And he just got shy, and he didn't even say much. But now, of course, after he passed away, the family that he used to live with, and half of the people that even tell me, yeah, he used to tell us, how you bought him that suit. I'm like, that's really crazy. But the tie that he's wearing, I gave him that tie, and for the same reason, he never really had a tie. He never went to a decent restaurant. So immediately became my goal. I took him to decent restaurants. I bought him stuff that he said he never had, because we can't have that in our society, especially for people who work as hard and give themselves to the community. We gotta take care of our community leaders. We gotta take care of the people who really literally are doing so much work. So I'll be quiet. I said enough. So welcome everybody. We'll be here for a couple more minutes. They tell me that eventually the councilwoman will be here, so she would like to say a couple of words. If you guys want to stick around, you can stick around. But if not, you're free to go. But also in the back, thanks to Nantly, thanks to Mr. Beltran, and Funeraria, we got tamales, we got coaches, we got coffee. So if you guys want to grab some green while you wait, you're welcome to. We'll be back when we get the other people. Thank you. We have for someone who really served our community, those selflessly. Mr. Alejandro Luna, self-work meeting with selflessly, I already said many things before, but one of the incredible tributes that they did for me, and it meant a lot, so thank you. It was the fact that Los Angeles City Council did a journey led by our representative for District 6, which is our councilwoman, Maria, and she's the only attorney official in the appearance, so she's here to meet with us. So I would like her to walk into the front. So thank you for everything that you've done throughout this process. Thank you for the certificates, and thank you for acknowledging the service of your community. So.
Well, good evening, everybody. As mentioned, my name is Councilmember Alejandro Luna, 6th District for this region. And I want to start off by, excuse myself for being in sunglasses, but it's just not, it's a reflection of how I feel being here. This is like the saddest part of my job is when we have to do adjournments, and because we usually do adjournments for folks that are not just individuals, that are families to those of us in government, but we do it more for those that we know made an impact in the community. And when Saul first told us that we couldn't find our friend, all of us were in shock. I mean, it wasn't a community leader that we wondered who is he talking about. We knew exactly who he was talking about. He is somebody that would show up. He is somebody that would be present. He is someone that always expressed his gratefulness for what we were doing in the community, and also expressed ideas of how to make it better. He's truly going to be missed. Truly going to be missed. The community lost a leader. We've lost a friend. To his family abroad, les lamento de todo corazón that they had to find out about this, the way that we lost him. But I'd like to tell myself, let's make an opportunity of everything that we go through. And I think that this just reminds us of how grateful we need to be every day to be here. Because this is so unexpected. And with everything that's going on right now, with a lot of families being shaken up and moved around, and people don't know where anyone is going, it made us think about Mr. Luna and how also, I wish I would have, it's a reminder that You never know what's gonna happen any day, and it's only gotten worse. So we should always be prepared on like how we communicate with our loved ones in case of an emergency. You know, and I know that it's a big difference between having an accident, what's happening, from the national government coming in and doing things, very big difference. But it's the same concept, that our loved ones should always know where we are, our friends should always know where we are. Because then you go through what we went through, which was days of agony, of trying to figure out where was he. We're going to truly miss him. And I just gotta say, Saul, who introduced him to this community work, I really love that you have his pin on him. Because Mr. Luna and his involvement in the Panorama Chamber of Commerce, he was like a pioneer. You know, I always joke that this was a generation where the chamber really immersed themselves in making themselves be present in spaces like FICA and Misfit, because our community never was. Maybe it was because we didn't feel invited. Maybe it was because we didn't know we could show up. But once that relationship was made, he was part of this clique, part of this posse, to make sure that they were always present. When I go to those spaces, and I always saw people from Panorama City, like Mr. Luna and Saul, it only made me feel so much more at home. So it's for those positive things, for those pioneer moments, for the good times, and we'll always remember him. May he rest in peace, and God bless. Thank you all.